What's up, Hero Nation? Carlos Amaro back at it with another video, and this time it's back day, specifically back thickness. So that is one of my biggest problems on my body, is my back thickness. Basically, I used to have a way better back, but I don't know, I guess I kind of just moved away from the basics, and I actually did. And on top of that, also I was working a lot on back width and neglecting my lower lats, and now I'm paying for it. So with this cut, whenever you guys are cutting, you guys actually start to see which muscles are predominantly more, I guess you can say, mature compared to others, and my back is not one of them. So hopefully with this, you know, I'm kind of lean bulking at this point. I've been playing it by ear, so hopefully with this lean bulk I can help develop my back a little bit better. I can't say I can get it bigger within the short period of time, but maybe I can. I mean, who knows? But this exercise routine that I'm doing, I remember doing this all the time probably 2 years ago with my coach, and this honestly helped me with my back thickness tremendously. So, you know, sometimes you just got to go back to the basics. So what I started with was the easy bar underhand grip. The easy bar just hits the lats just a little bit differently, you know, compared to just a regular underhand grip. And then I just did normal cable rows. Both of those combined just put a lot, to me personally, just puts a lot of blood into the lower lats, especially if you aim right. I always just, you know, if you guys see, my hands are always aiming right at my abs, just because of the simple fact that, you know, keeping your hands that low, you're kind of more bound to hit those lower lats. And then right after those two exercises, I went into T-bar rows. Again, with that, I'm still aiming right for my abs, and I'm taking my time. I don't like to do with those specifically. There's times I can lift a lot of weight. Today was not one of those days, and I supersetted them with lat pullovers. Basically, with lat pullovers, I usually do the rope, but today I just wanted to switch it up, which it actually ended up working. If you guys see with the T-bar row, I'm really technically not lifting a lot of weight. That's 25 pounds for each of those plates, and it's about 5 plates, so technically it's only 2 45s and a 25. That's not a lot of weight, but because for one, it is a superset, but also if you guys look, I'm taking my time and making sure that I can personally feel the stretch against my lower lats, and that I can squeeze them on the way up. I don't want to just lift the weight just because, you know, I want to look cool or whatever the case may be. Everything has to have a purpose, and if you can't feel the muscle, you know, there really is no point in lifting it. So I really was taking my time today. And then with these lat pullovers, personally, the reason why I really like these is because on the way up, I can feel a big tug and a big stretch on my lower lats. And if you guys see, I move back and forth. So as I let the bar come up, I move down, because personally with me, I get a better stretch, and then I kind of slightly move my body upward just so that I can hit my lats better. Because by this point, unfortunately, my lats are definitely underdeveloped. So for me to feel them 100% is difficult, unfortunately. So I mean, I just had to do the exercises the way I wanted them to. And then right after that, a new type of exercise on a belt squat machine. I saw somebody doing rows on here, and I thought, you know what, next time I do back, I gotta try this out. And I actually really liked it. So right here, if you guys see, I'm taking about a 2-second pause at the top, and I'm really making sure that, for one, I'm staying away from my biceps, because what people will do is they'll take a good time to squeeze, but their arms are burnt out, and that's not the goal. I'm trying to make sure that, you know, when I'm doing these, that I can feel nothing but my back. By the time that I put down the weight, that I'm like, wow, that's a lot of blood, basically. So I'm taking my time, making sure, if you guys look at where the bar is going, it's like right under my belly button. That way I can hit those lower lats a lot better, and technically I'm trying to squeeze just the whole back by this point. And if you guys see right here, I'm fatigued, I'm tired, because these squeezes are nothing to play with. But also with this last set that I ended up doing, I ended up taking off the weight on each side, and ended up doing a drop set. And then right after that, I have not done dumbbell rows in a hot minute. So I only did about 3 sets, just because I've done all my heavy stuff technically, but I still wanted to get, you know, dumbbell rows in. Sometimes you just want to do an exercise because you're like, you know what, like, hey, I just want to. If you guys see, I'm not just lifting it upward, I'm letting it literally roll. So I'm trying to let the bar, the dumbbell kind of brush against my hip, and I'm trying to still contract my my lats. I'm taking my time as much as possible, and I'm making sure that I can feel a good stretch, and that my upper back is not taking over. I genuinely, when I'm hitting back thickness, I'm trying to make sure that my lats are just taking over for everything. It's just, I'm very particular with that, because literally to me there's and also just with anybody, a lot of times people's backs, their the upper part of their back is the most dominant. It's the most developed thing, and their lats literally are the most things that are underdeveloped. So I'm trying to avoid that as much as possible. I did 3 sets. The heaviest that I went, I think for these was 85 pounds. I don't really push that much weight. I think everybody kind of knows that. It's very rare when I feel significantly strong, but I mean, all that I care about is how I make my muscle feel. So that's all, in reality, that's the best advice I can always give, is that if you guys can't feel the muscle with certain exercises, maybe switch it up, or just take your time, lift less weight, do more reps. I mean, that's what I did at the beginning, and I still do that till this day. Right after that, I did want to hit a little bit more lats, but also with this exercise, it does also hit the upper back, especially with the stretch at the top. So I'm focused on the upper part of my back, and as I bring it down, I'm basically squeezing down. So I'm not just squeezing everything all at once. I go 1, 2, 3, and I'm squeezing the top part of my back all the way to my lower lats. Then by the end of my workout, I did lat pull downs, just because I really like this variation. If you guys see how the bar looks, I just really like how the bar feels. It hits the muscle a lot differently, and different is definitely good. I really liked it. And then by the end, I just wanted to see how my back looked. It's okay. And then I ended it with back extensions. I only do about 10 reps because I do like about a 1 second pause at the top, but also just because my lower back is it's also very weak. A lot of people are used to doing 20 reps. I was one of those people who neglected my lower back for years, and that's something you guys can actually see. So hopefully by C2E2 I can, get it to look normal. But I only did about 3 sets of 10 right here to end just, the full back day. And then right after I got done doing back, I'm like, you know what, I might as well do some shoulders, because again, shoulders are another big weak point. Normally with shoulders, I do about 2 sets of 20, just like to flush a lot of blood into the muscle. And if you guys see, by the end of it, I'm not really pushing a lot of weight, and I kind of do like a little pause at the top so I can flush a lot more blood into my muscle. I don't want to just lift up and down. I want to take my time, and that personally is what helped me develop better shoulders, is just taking my time and making sure that I can actually feel my shoulders. Because what people will do is they'll lift the weight, and then they'll feel their traps, and their traps will just completely take over. By the time I got done with my exercise, I only did 15 pounds. Like, that was just enough for me. I'm like, you know what, that's good, because any heavier, I would have just probably ended up using my traps, and I wouldn't have been able to focus on my muscle as well. And that's, again, that's always just the goal. Right after that, I went into some bench rear lateral raises, because my rear delts are very, very underdeveloped, and normally that does end up happening for a lot of people. They have very well developed front delts, but their rear delts are, bad, and mine are horrific. So these are just, an exercise that I really like to do to just get some blood into there. These specifically, if you guys see, I don't lift very high. Once I feel my shoulder, that's enough for me. That's literally enough for me to let the weight just stop from there, because any higher I'd probably end up contracting my back. And if you guys see, I'm genuinely trying to not do that, because it's very easy with these exercises for your back or your traps to take over. And if you're trying to hit shoulders, you want to make sure that your shoulders are just taking over completely. And then for the last exercises technically is dumbbell upright rows, and I supersetted them with just shoulder shrugs. With upright rows, a lot of people say they feel them in the traps. I feel them in my shoulders and my traps. So on the way up, I kind of focus on shoulders, and then the end of the movement, traps. That's what I do. So I do shoulders, traps. And then with shoulder shrugs, my traps, it's very hard for me personally to feel them. So I go very light, and I do about 5 reps where I do like a 2-second pause, and then I do like 10 relatively fast. I'm just hoping that, you know, by C2E2 I can have some normal looking traps. But that's just basically what this is, just a superset that I've recently been doing that I personally see some development with. So if you guys see, I kind of bring them just a slight bit forward, and I'm trying to focus on you kind of like lifting with my elbows more, and trying to basically kind of create like a different variation of a side lateral. These I personally really like. I personally like these better than side laterals, but I really, you know, have used those with this with the shoulder shrugs. It's just for me, it's a really good combination and a good way to go ahead and just get a really nice pump. But that's pretty much it. You guys let me know what you guys think of the video, what you guys want to see more of, and I will see you guys next time.